What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video, I'm running a special challenge in Go Battle League. It's going to be a double fire team, as you guys can see over there, and also having it all week to Lanturn. Yes, that is probably the first glaring thing that you see here. Tapu Fini, Kanto Ninetales, and Rapidash are all weak to Lanturn, and I want to see if this team, even though if they're weak to Lanturn, can overcome some of those Lanturn teams, as Lanturn is extremely meta. So let's see what this team is capable of. We have fun wins and losses today, so hope you guys enjoy. Alright, getting into the first battle, we have Tapu Fini on lead versus Swampert. Okay, so this is a very, very good lead for us because of our backline, right? We want to keep this Swampert away from our double fire, so we're going to look to stay in. We're going to put neutral pressure with Water Gun and Surf, and even if we lose lead, that is okay with us because we can easily come in and farm down. Now, the first Surf does get through. This is going to make our backline a lot safer when it comes to the farm down, as we're going to go ahead and let the Earthquake now go through, and then we're going to try to fully Water Gun down, but they do get to another Hydro Cannon in time. We're going to let this go. I'm reading that Swampert is the hardest counter to my double fire backline, so we're going to go ahead and bring in that Rapidash and Incinerate down. Now, what's cool about Rapidash is it has access to Drill Run and Flame Charge as its charge moves, which means it can put a lot of pressure down, even on something like Lanturn with that Drill Run. So Flame Charge here now against Pidgeot does get a shield, which is beautiful. We should be able to get to another one, but they do throw the charge move. Now, again, reading that fire is going to sweep this game, potentially. We let the charge move go through. Thankfully, it is Feather Dance. We're going to go ahead and go for the second Flame Charge. Now, after this, we have to swap out right away. We do not want to get caught getting farmed down, so we're going to swap out. And they have a Registeel in the back. That is a good game. And this is what's cool about this team. Again, it's a meme team. It's a challenge team, right? This is by no means something extremely hard meta that you should try to look to climb with. It's just all about having fun. Double fire backline, if you can get rid of that hardest counter, in this case, in this game, it was Swampert. The Kanto Ninetales is going to go on a tear. Now, I do have Ember, which is a legacy fast move, but if you don't want to elite TM it, try to go for Fire Spin. It's somewhat similar in terms of its damage and energy. Ember is just a little bit better in my opinion, but Fire Spin, if for the sake of trying a fun team, you guys can easily go with that. Alright, moving into the next battle. Again, you guys are going to face some losses. We got losses today too. We got Sableye here on the lead. So, a good lead Sableye, and they swap out into Noctowl, so we're going to go ahead and bring in the Ninetales. Now, Sableye is a decent Pokemon for our whole team to face off against. Yes, we would rather have the Tapu Fini face off against it because we resist those foul plays, but overall we can do a lot of damage against it with this team. So Weather Ball here is going to be putting a lot of pressure on the Noctowl. I wouldn't be surprised if they go deep into shields to try to take Switch, which would be fine by me, so I'm going to go ahead and look to give up another shield here, because I want to try to get this Noctowl out of the game if I can, and I can easily overload on energy, and if they decide to let this go, then that Sableye coming in is going to take a lot of added damage. So they decide to double shield, so all shields are down. Kanto Ninetales here is going to get hit with the Sky Attack, which means I'm really not going to be able to survive, so I decide instead to swap out into Rapidash. Why? There are no shields left in the game. If I can utilize my Ninetales as a sacrificial swap to try to win this game, then so be it. Now the Shadow Ball lands, so we're going to go ahead and farm down, and I make a mistake here. I go straight for Flame Charge, blind throwing, and it's an Azumarill in the back. This is not good. Now, we still have Tapu Fini, and what's very, very important, everyone, is counting moves. For Azumarill, 5 is Ice Beam, 6 is Play Rough, 7 is Hydro Pump. So we're going to play to that because we have the damage to potentially win. Now they throw the charge move on 7, which means it's Hydro Pump. That means on this next one, we're going to go ahead and go for Moonblast right here. On this next one, I have an opportunity to catch the charge move. So let's see if we can do it. We're going to go ahead and swap right now. And we catch the charge move, which is beautiful. What's the final Pokemon in the back? It's a Sableye still, which means when it swaps in right here, we can go for the Moonblast right away. And you love to see it. This game looked like an absolute loss, but it turned into a win. Boom! Down goes the Sableye, and we Water Gun down the Azumarill. That's going to be a good game. Sometimes that's what you need to do when it comes to all shields down. Try to save a low health Pokemon for a sack swap. Alright, this is another hard lead. This is going to be Charm, Alolan Ninetales. So we're going to come in with Rapidash right away, and there it is. There's the Lanturn. This is the Pokemon we have been fearing. Now we're going to go ahead and go for Drill Run here. This does do super effective damage, which is why I like the Rapidash safe swap. And look at the damage that we just put down on Lanturn. That is beautiful. Now, I decide to no-shield this. In hindsight, I think I could have gotten away with double shielding this game because I might have been able to farm down with Incinerate. So now instead I got to come in with Tapu Fini. I'm reading that, you know what, I might want to keep my Tapu Fini a bit healthy in order to have some loaded energy on the back end and some health. I don't know if Kanto Ninetales can take this whole thing by itself, but at least with the Charm Alolan Ninetales coming in, we can put pressure with the Surf. So we do take out the Lanturn, so Lanturn's out of the game. We got Kanto Ninetales in the back. We got Alolan Ninetales with Charm coming back in. So we're going to go ahead and throw that Surf, and now we're going to look to swap out after this charge move and get into our Ninetales. This is going to allow us to get ahead on energy. This is going to chip away the health of the Alolan Ninetales, and in comes an Umbreon. This is tough. This is why, talking about hindsight, I might have been able to get away with double shielding the Lanturn because of the Drill Run land. Because if I had Tapu Fini on Umbreon and I had Ninetales on Ninetales, this would have been a good game. Now the game's not over because we land an Overheat, we sneak it through, which is really good. But this is the scary thing about Umbreon, is it's so bulky that even Embers, even though we lowered our attack, is not going to be enough to take it out before they get to another foul play. So I'm forced to throw a Weather Ball right here, and they do come in with their Ninetales and get off a ton of damage. But ultimately, they still have a shield. So we're not going to be able to take this, but there was an opportunity potentially. So if you guys think that I could have won that mid-game flip with Rapidash, I would have just gone Flame Charges after that to boost the attack, but I think I could have gotten away with it. I think I could have done it. I would have had a healthy Rapidash, and it could have put a lot of damage. So good game. All right, we got a Azumarill here on the lead. Again, a Pokemon that we want to align Tapu Fini with because of our backline being weak to Azumarill. So we're going to go ahead and go for Moonblast. And this is what I love about Tapu Fini. Both of these Pokemon are Water Fairy. Arguably, well, it's going to be the best Water Fairies that we have really in this meta. But in terms of damage, I really like what Tapu Fini can do with Water Gun and Surf. But there, you do lose the bulk that Azumarill has, right? So it's a give and take. And the coverage, well, you could run Ice Beam with Tapu Fini, but we do have... we have Moonblast. So we're going to go ahead and look to shield right here. It is going to be another Play Rough because we need to get this Azumarill out of there, and we want to have loaded energy on the back end. So we're going to go ahead and go for Surf now that we're near 2, and they're almost at another charge move. And this Surf should be just enough resisted damage to KO. So it does. Azumarill is down. Let's see what's in the back. It's going to be a Sableye. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go for Surf right away. Now, I am down shields, and my Tapu Fini is low, so I'm going to go ahead and swap now into Rapidash here against the Sableye. This is going to allow us to do two things. Firstly, it's giving us a team read. They're obviously weak in the back to fire. Considering that they haven't swapped out, I can safely go for Flame Charge here to try to put some more pressure. And also, it gives me an advantage with a potential sack swap, and we get a shield right there, like we saw before. If I can keep my Tapu Fini alive, we could potentially sack swap this game and win. So we're going to come in with the Kanto Ninetales, again, reading that they're weak in the back, so my thought is it actually might be a Trevenant back there. If you guys are thinking a Azumarill double Ghost, right? So we're going to go ahead and shield the foul play. We're going to load up on some energy, and they do decide to throw. They actually have another one ready. So this is now dangerous. This is dangerously close. This foul play is almost going to take us out. They decide to swap into Cofagrigus, which means I have the Overheat ready to go, and Kanto Ninetales hits like a truck. We come in with Tapu Fini and Water Gun down because we kept it alive. Sableye comes back in, Ninetales comes out, and we Ember down with 1 HP and a Dream. What a beautiful game right there. All right. That was a fun one. Moving into the next one, we have Tapu Fini on the lead versus Sableye once again. So a pretty good matchup. Our whole team does well against Sableye. Tapu Fini is the preferred Pokemon against it because we resist foul play, but we do need to watch out for return. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Surf here before they get to a potential return because I want to try to put shield pressure on them first. And they do decide to shield. So I'll safely shield myself right here because the return, we got to respect it. It does a lot of damage, and it was just a foul play, unfortunately. Now, this next charge move coming through from them was not enough energy for a return, so I can safely let this go. We resist foul play, but they are showing that, you know what, maybe they're weak in the back to Tapu Fini, and they actually are not. They swap in a Lanturn, and this is where things get very, very dicey because I have to throw a Moonblast now for neutral damage. I also have to swap into Rapidash, and I have to pull off the Kanto sweep. The Kanto Ninetales sweep because I cannot shield this Surf. They're going to be able to take me out. I can go for Drill Run here. This Drill Run is going to KO the Ninetales if they decide not to shield, but they do, or it's going to KO the Lanturn, I should say, if they decide not to shield. But now this allows my Kanto Ninetales to come in and try to get a Weather Ball off before double Surf. So this is going to be a very, very close game. Switch Clock is not back up yet. They have loaded energy. Things are not looking good, all right? This was the challenge today. Double fire and all week to Lanturn to see if we can do it. They have back-to-back Surfs ready, but Kanto Ninetales never counted out. Surf is going to get us low, but not low enough. In comes a Noctowl, so I'm going to race to the Overheat, and we get to the Overheat in time. Battlers, this is so much neutral damage. Overheat, boom, nearly one-shots. I swap into Tapu Fini. There is Lanturn still alive. And it's going to spark us down. Sorry, I hyped you up so much. We're just going to get KO'd right here. That's going to be a good game. Lanturn is so tough to take down in this challenge. But we are getting it close. We are like decisions away from making the right play. So, good game. All right, Tapu Fini versus Charizard. Well, obviously a very positive lead for us, and our whole team does decent, even though fire is resisted. So we're going to see them swap out now into Sableye, which is even, it's ideal. I love to see this. Tapu Fini, core breaking right here. So we're going to go ahead and just go for Surf. We can easily take this mid-game matchup and get ourselves shield advantage, which they do decide to throw, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and give up a shield as well, and now I'm going to swap into Rapidash because the energy... we want to keep Tapu Fini alive for the Charizard, and the foul play here is not going to be enough to KO us. So Rapidash should be able to survive, and then we can easily go for a Flame Charge here to take them out. Now we do give the Charizard a bit of farm. They're going to be able to come in with Wing Attack and farm down, but instead they decide to double shield the Sableye, which I thought was pretty risky. Because I can now come in with Tapu Fini and Water Gun down. I do need to watch out for the return, but I'm going to let it go. And it is just a foul play, which is beautiful. We resist that. So we are able to take both shields. They have a Medicham in the back. Tapu Fini is good against this whole team. Yes, Lanturn has been beating us, but my goodness, Tapu Fini is putting work against this team. Boom! Nearly one-shots. We swap into Ninetales. In comes the Charizard. And this is a fire-on-fire battle. And I tell you what, Charizard is not going to come out on top right here. We can safely shield the charge move and then go for the Overheat. Even though this is resisted, this is a Shadow Kanto Ninetales, everyone. It does an incredible amount of damage. You'll love to see it. Boom! One-shots the Charizard and down goes Medicham. Really fun game right there. Tapu Fini, obviously MVP for us, having very good matchups against all of the Pokemon. All right, moving next one, we got Tapu Fini versus Sandslash. Oh, my backline is excited to see this. We're going to go ahead and swap out right away into Rapidash. We get 2 Incinerates through. That is 50% HP gone on the Sandslash right there, as a Medicham now decides to come in, so we can safely go for Flame Charges here. We're just going to do as much neutral damage as possible, really ramp it up. We're also going to let this charge move go through. This is likely going to be a Psychic, which is fine. We can come in now with Tapu Fini and load up on energy. Now, I don't know what Pokemon they have in the back, but I'm guessing it's something to beat a fighter. So if we see Sandslash and Medicham, it would make a lot of sense to have something else that beats a fighter. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a flyer of some sort. But let's see what decides to come in. It's a Trevenant. It's a Trevenant! You guys know what is about to happen. Oh, man, we're no shielding here. Seed Bomb. Yep, don't care. Unleash the Ninetales. This is going to be a good game. The hardest hitting move left in the game is going to be Shadow Ball and Bulldoze. So I'm just going to safely shield this. It is just a Seed Bomb. We're going to keep Embering down. Kanto Ninetales. What a way to end the video with a hard fire sweep right here, as we can safely just go all fast moves. Do not throw charge moves in this situation. Fast moves is the way to go as we shield the Ice Punch. And they have a second one ready to go. This is not enough energy for Bulldoze, unfortunately, for my opponent. But that's okay. Ninetales hangs on and takes it right there. What a good battle. Double fire coming in clutch there at the end. All right, moving to the next one. We got Tapu Fini versus Medicham. Okay, so positive lead right here. Whole team does decent, so we'll have to see what other Pokemon they have in the back. But ultimately, they're deciding to stay in. So this is a tell that something else in the back might be potentially weak, or they just want to soften me up and then try to catch the charge move. So they decided to go for the Psychic to soften me up. I'm going to go ahead and go for Moonblast here. If this gets a shield, I might look to swap, because this now, yeah, it does get a shield, so I'm going to go ahead and swap out into Rapidash. I don't know what they have in the back, but they have a Bastiodon, and that, my friends, was a very good swap on my part. Why? Well, we free up Kanto Ninetales. We have double Drill Run. Respect the Drill Run. Look at that. Boom! Second one. This Bastiodon has to shield. That means all shields will be down, and then the Tapu Fini can come in. But no, Bastiodon straight just gets destroyed. Medicham comes back in, which is fine by me. And I'm reading that, okay, maybe there's Galarian Stunfisk in the back right here. So Medicham, Bastiodon, Galarian Stunfisk. I'm going to come in with the Ninetales and load up on energy. I will give up shields on the potential Psychic, but it's just going to be a power-up punch. Might have miscounted there at the time. So now this is definitely going to be another power-up punch. We can safely let this go. But this is going to be a close game now. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't keeping track of the energy on Medicham. I should have in hindsight. But let's see what that final Pokemon is. They haven't swapped out yet, which means they may be scared of it. But let's see what's in the back. It's a Stunfisk. It's a Pancake. This thing, talk about core breaking. Now we catch the charge move here on Tapu Fini, which is beautiful, because this is how we win this game. We land the Overheat. So I'm going to go for Weather Ball first and then go for the Overheat here. My opponent decides to no shield. Had I thrown the Overheat right there, that would have KO'd. Oh my goodness, what a call from my opponent. What a fun battle. I mean, the Pancake here, the Stunfisk, core breaks the whole team. But if I chose Overheat right there instead of Weather Ball, we win. What a fun team. What a fun set of battles. Obviously, wins and losses, but that's what's going to happen when you run a team that's all weak to Lanturn. If you face off against Lanturn, you're likely going to lose, but it still had a lot of fun and really enjoyed this spicy challenge. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.